Welcome to Tuesday with Terry, the podcast for getting your mind, business, and life in shape. Hosted by Terry Blachek, one of the original area developers for Orange Theory Fitness who helped launch the brand from the very beginning. He'll use his years of experience to help you shape up your mind, build strong relationships with your teams, revamp your business processes, and set down the path towards success in all aspects of your life.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tuesday with Terry. I'm excited to be here and welcome to this podcast. It's great to chat with you guys again. Hopefully you've been following along. I've been talking about some things in leadership. I've been talking about some things in sales and marketing. I've been talking about some things on self-empowerment. And I've also been talking about some items maybe that would be helpful for you if you're starting a business or running a business. Today, I want to chat a little bit about when all else fails, F you. Yeah, true story, F you. What am I talking about? The F and the U stands for follow up. When all else fails, man, you need to follow up a little bit more. And the reason I say that is because the truth of the matter is the fortune is in the follow up. A lot of times you meet people, you talk about your business. A lot of times you meet folks and you talk about an opportunity, about your program, about your service, about your product. And you think that they're going to be just as excited as you are, but the reality is they are not. And you never know what happens. They never heard from them again. They never came back. As we say, the wheels on the be-back bus broke down. The bus broke down, right? Because those be-backs just simply do not happen as much as you want. So what I wanted to chat about today is talk a little bit about follow-up. And what we know is this, is that after the first contact, somebody has come in and they've looked, they've experienced, they've tried out your program, your product, or your service, is most salespeople, I'll say 43% of salespeople have given up after the very first contact. They contact once and they never heard from them again. I just don't know what's happened. 68% of the salespeople give up after the second contact. While you go, man, 2 times and I'm out. 43%, 1 time and I'm out. 68%, 1 time and I'm out. That means if I'm talking to 10 of you, if I'm talking to 100 of you, 68 of you have already given up after the second contact. The low-hanging fruit starts around the 4th contact, but 80% give up after the 3rd contact. That low-hanging fruit is in that 4th contact. That's where things really start to get interesting. Now you got my attention. You're really getting to know the prospect and their needs when you talk to them the 5th time. And if you talk to them 6 times, you're probably the only one out there that's talking, reaching out, texting, calling, videotaping, doing something to get that person's attention the 6th time. And usually somewhere between 6, 8, and 10, that's where the magic happens. But so many young salespeople and so many new salespeople don't realize that. They think that everybody's going to be just as interested as they are. And so because of that, what they do is they say, well, you know, I called them once. I called them and left them a message twice, but what really needs to happen? So let me just kind of outline some things that you can do better if you really want to follow up. Number 1 is you got to have a plan, right? What is your plan to follow up? And I don't mean just saying, well, we're going to follow up, but what exactly are you going to do and say on the first follow-up? What exactly are you going to do and say on the second follow-up, the 3rd follow-up, the 4th follow-up, the 5th follow-up, the 6th follow-up? Because right there is where the magic happens. Remember, number 5, 6 is where things start to really get interesting. And when I say that is somebody comes in and tries your product, your program, or your service, what's the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to text them within 24 hours or maybe even before they leave? You know, in our business, people come in and they try the workout. They try Orange Theory Fitness. And so what we try to do is we try to take a picture of them in the class, send it to them and say, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you being in the class. We just wanted to show you, this is what you look like as you're working out, right? How cool is that? Get a little text. We also want to send them a thank you card. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for coming in and at least trying it. Or a text or a voicemail. Maybe a video of them, a short 10-second video of them. Maybe we might send them about a little text message about the benefits of a program that is science-backed, technology-tracked, and coach inspired, right? What are you going to do on day 2 and 3? Sometimes people like to just have you reach out to them and say, hey, I was thinking of you. I was thinking about that 5 o'clock class, or I was thinking about this program and thinking about this service. And I was reminded of you being in here the other day and just want to let you know we were thinking about you. That's kind of a nice little sentiment, right? You might want to come up with an educational piece, right? An educational piece. Maybe you read an article or you had an article about health, wellness, fitness, some medical advice. You read this article and I was thinking of you, and you send them a link to that article. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to invite them back. Well, what do you do on day number 4? You pick up the phone and you actually try to call them and you said, hey, it's been, 72 hours since you were last in here. We have what's called the afterburn. It's a 36-hour epoch effect. Your metabolism, get the afterburn. You're burning more calories out of class. But after 36 hours, man, wouldn't that be a good time to call somebody and say, hey, I know you probably want a time extension here, but your afterburn is wearing down. We need to invite you to come back. What are you doing on day number 5? What happens on day number 7? Maybe you invite them to an event. Maybe there's a social event. Maybe it's Wind Down Wednesdays. Maybe there's a First Friday coming up. Maybe there's a clinic, a nutritional clinic. Maybe there's a family fun day that you're inviting some of your members or some of your customers to. Why not invite some of your leads, some of your prospects to come and get to know some of the folks? Day number 8, I tell you, there's nothing better than a testimonial. If you can show some before and some after pictures in the fitness business, or you have some Google reviews, or you have some reviews online that you want to share with people, that's a great thing to send somebody. Send them a couple of your reviews. I just got this review, and I was pretty proud of some of our accomplishments, but I wanted to share it with you and let you know what's really happening out there. Maybe day number 10, you send them some of the results of what people are talking about in terms of, this could be you. Again, what are you really talking about? You're talking about hope, a dream, a desire, a better quality of life. All I'm suggesting is when you want to follow up with people, you need to be a little creative. And so what are those tools? I'm just going to give you a list of 12 tools here that you might want to write these down. How you use those tools is entirely up to you. But the telephone, it's a little black box that sits on the desk or on the counter. It's got a little receiver. You pick it up, you make your dials. Yeah, that's a phone call. That's a tool. Sending a text message is a tool. Sending an email with an article, that's a tool. Handwriting a postcard or a thank you note or a short letter, that's a tool. Personally visiting, dropping something off, or if you can do that, not every business allows you to do that, but inviting them back as your personal guest. Think about some gimmicks, some tchotch that you might want to send over, or ways that you can be creative. A video message. How about a video message of yourself in your place of business, what they were looking at? Say, I'm standing here beside these TVs. I'm standing here beside this furniture. I'm standing here beside this treadmill, and I was thinking about you. I just want to remind you, man, we're still here for you to help you meet your needs on your way to your fitness journey. Give us a buzz. Love to chat with you. Social media is a tool. Your cell phone is a tool. Photos are tools. A newsletter or a blog is a tool. Those testimonials that you have, if you're not getting them, please get them. Those reviews on Google reviews, those are incredible tools for you to be using and talking to other customers. It's not about what you say, it's about what your customers say about you. How many times have you asked prospects or new customers how they heard about you? And they say, I heard it from a friend. You getting an endorsement from a friend is powerful. How about a survey, right? You could send out a survey to your new prospects or to your new leads. Survey them and ask them for their feedback. Then you pick up the phone, you call them and say, hey, I was just going through some of our surveys and yada, yada, yada. This is what I saw. Anyway, those are the dirty dozen of tools for you to be following up with. The last piece, if you've got a group of people or a sales team that is not following up, usually the reason they don't do that is because they don't have a good plan. You need to sit down with them and say, this is what the first follow-up looks like, and this is when we do that. This is what the second follow-up looks like, and this is when we do that. The third, the fourth, and so on and so on. And remember, at the end of the day, those folks are either unwilling or they are unable. Remember that story of sitting in the exit row and the flight attendant says, if you are unwilling or unable to perform these duties, I'm happy to reseat you. Well, if your team is unable, that means they haven't been trained. You don't have a good plan. They don't have a good plan. And you haven't shown them, not told them, you haven't shown them exactly what to do. If they know what to do and they're unwilling, then it's probably time to get them reseated in either doing something else in your organization or move them on to another organization. In any case, remember this, in the absence of a sale, when all else fails, FU, that simply means follow up. How many times? 6 to 10 times for the follow-up. Get creative. Make sure you have the tools and the time frequency that it takes in order to follow up. I promise you, the fortune is in the follow-up. My name's Terry. I'm your friend. Thanks a lot for listening in today.